Hi, Jan. Can you hear me?
Hello, Peter.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
good to see you. Can you see me? I don't
I
think
can
so,
see
right?
you.
Okay, let's
Ah,
try
that's
this
much
way.
better.
How do you do? Here it is.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to the French Toy Rendezvous number 22. Warm welcome to you and thanks for receiving the invitation.
Yeah, thanks for picking me. How are you? How's life?
Looks everything okay. Nearly weekend.
Okay. Yeah, looks
Weather
good.
weather is so, Peter. Huh? We need better weather. Huh? Mm.
Yeah, we had snow where I live.
Oh yeah.
It's been snowing for 2 weeks right now. We don't have it, but it's been snowing.
So where do you
So
live?
I live close to the Alps in the very south of Germany, in Bavaria, where people go for skiing or holidays and stuff. So
Ah,
it's a very nice place to live,
okay.
but very cold sometimes.
Very good. Good to know because I've never been to this place. I've been many times in Germany for the fairs, and I used to work with German. So
Yeah,
I've been to München, Nuremberg, or Frankfurt, or different
yeah.
cities, but I've never been in the south. Okay, so Peter, let's go with our little show. And usually when we talk, we go back to the beginning when you were a child. And
Okay.
I'm interested to know, where are you from, where you been growing, what did you like to do, your hobbies, which toys you were playing, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Let's give it a try.
Yes, tell me, tell me. So, do you remember?
Okay, we're already starting, right?
Yes, we are started. I
Okay,
will
so
start directly.
then
This.
let's start directly. Yes, what was little Peter playing with?
Yes.
Well, I think I love to play with Lego.
Ah, okay.
The Lego was one of my very favorite toys that I had.
Uh-huh.
I used to read a lot, um, and my family and me, we traveled a lot. So I lived in a couple of different countries, and I stayed in Spain for quite a long time. And there was a let's call it like an action man figure called Madelman, and it
Yes.
was like Big Jim, Big John, these figures
Big
and,
Jim, I
stuff.
remember Action Joe. I was
Yeah,
playing that. Yeah.
yeah. And I was playing with that as well. I had big fun with that.
Me too. Okay.
Yes.
So where were
And
you in
later I
Spain? At
spent all
which
my
age?
money on rebound.
Where
Pardon?
were you in Spain?
Well, in different locations because my father used to work there. In Spain, I was in Burgos, San Sebastian, close to Barcelona,
Okay.
Madrid, and various other towns where we lived,
Okay. And
dependent.
which age were you there?
Well, we traveled since I was born until the age of something like 15, 16. Then we stayed in Germany. But the first 16 years we traveled a lot worldwide. So I grew up in a lot of different countries.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, so you have an interesting starting life with
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of opening mind, with different culture
Oh
and
yeah.
seen a lot of things. So you've been
Yeah.
in Spain, in other countries too?
Oh yeah. I lived in Spain. I lived in the Caribbean, for instance, on Trinidad for 1.5 years. I lived in the Philippines and Africa, all kinds of different countries. Yeah.
That's incredible. What was your father a military or something? Or
Yeah, it sounds like military, right? But no, he wasn't. But we lived the life of a military family. I think the Americans know it best. The way we lived was like a military family, that we moved a lot, and from time to time my dad was away for months, so we did not see him because it wasn't like we have it right now. You just take, WhatsApp, or you
oh
take whatever,
yes.
Zoom. So if he was somewhere, in Eastern Asia or somewhere, then he was just gone.
Wow.
And was what it was. No, my father was working for a company, let's call it, well, wood drying systems, let's say like this.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow, what a life, Peter. What a life. So, and when you were young, when you were changing so many times, what were you thinking? I mean, you were just adapting yourself, or?
Well, I think every life you have is your normal life. You know what I mean? Is your usual life. So you're born into a life and this is your life. You never question that as a kid because it is your life because you cannot stand beside yourself. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And for me, it was moving a lot. It was things, like homeschooling. It was things like going to different schools. It was things like learning different languages, living in different cultures, and this is what it was. It was a very different life to to the life that people usually had in the 60s and 70s
No.
because it was completely different. I had a very political mom, for instance. She still is. So it was very much different than normal people or usual people are used to it.
For sure, it's totally different. It's incredible and non-usual life, and you must be very open mind and seeing a lot of things in a different way with all those
Yeah, I've seen a
cultures.
lot of different things, good things, bad things. Yeah, it was eye-opening and mind-opening, of course. There's a reason why I have a haircut like this. So yeah, it's different.
Okay. So what were your hobbies apart from playing with those little action figures you mentioned? What did you like to do?
Well, I spent a real hobby in the later years was when I was something like, starting 7, 8 maybe, was building model kits by Revell. I think
By
I
Revel.
spent
Okay.
I think I spent all my pocket money. They still know me. They still owe me, I think, thousands of euros for my pocket money because I used to build all this stuff and I really had fun with it. Yes.
Okay, you like to do that. Okay, good. So when you are growing, so you are a teenager, you are back to Germany. Are you back in the south of Bavaria?
No, my family originally comes from, let's call it the Stuttgart region. This
Stuttgart,
is south of
southwest.
Germany as well, but it's not Bavaria. We are a very special kind of people. We like to save our money. We're like the German Scottish.
Uh-huh.
This is how we are, and this is where I come from. And we always went back there. When we traveled worldwide, we always came back to our part where we lived in Germany and then we traveled again. So I always had this, this German home base close to Stuttgart.
Close to Stuttgart. Okay. So you are a teenager, you are there, and are you doing some studies in Germany, or what do you do when you are 18 and
Yeah. Well, when I was 18, of course, I did my German Abitur A-level exam.
Abitur,
Then
A
I
level?
wanted
Yeah.
to study something, but at that time I was pretty lazy. I was a good student. I didn't have to do much. That was a privilege. I was a good student with little effort,
Mhm.
but I was lazy and I originally wanted to study business administration in tourism.
In tourism, yes. Mhm.
But I forgot to enlist at the university.
Here we start.
Yeah, after my military service, I did military service as well.
Uh-huh.
And then I forgot to do this, and then I
Uh-huh.
had to do something, and I started being working in a hardware store,
Yes.
and in this hardware store, this was owned by my parents at that time, and Yeah, I started working there and I started studying as well, but studying, in the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I did. I was studying business administration. And then I always wanted to be in the motorbike business. And then I started calling everybody in the motorbike business, annoying people. And then someone took me and I went to Düsseldorf, and there was a company called Heingericke. A lot of people know it if they love motorbikes, and they were the biggest motorbike accessory company in Germany at that time, or probably in Europe. They owned a
Uh-huh.
couple of other store chains as well. And I started there as being responsible for their stores, which meant I was at a very early age. I was something like, can I tell you, something like 24, 25. I was responsible for retail chain from about probably 300 to 400 stores if you
So
if
you
you
took responsibilities very young.
Yes, I did that very young because I was used to taking responsibility. That was a part of my life growing up. You have to be responsible. And my parents pushed me to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I took responsibility in business as well, very early.
Yeah.
And it was a different time. It was like, we talk a lot about this startup craze that we have in some parts um, of our business. And that was a kind of a startup thing as well. We all were very young in this company where I worked in. All
Yeah.
young people, everybody completely crazy, had no idea what we were doing. But yeah, we were
You
doing
had a good
that
fun.
pretty well. And that was big fun time. It was completely crazy, completely nuts.
Okay. So where after that, when is the first step in the toy business or toy magazine, or when is it?
Well, the first step was because we not only owned hardware store, my family later we owned toy stores as well. That's where
Oh
my
yeah.
mom came from.
Okay.
And so I always was in contact with toys in some way.
Oh.
And after I stopped working in the motorbike business, I started working in the toy company in toy business, and I had my own store. Let's say it like this. And this was
In the Stuttgart area, in Stuttgart.
now in the Munich area,
Munich.
and it was in 1995. And well, I did that honestly speaking for some kind of family reason, let's call it like this. You sometimes do things that you just have to do.
Yeah.
And this didn't work out for me very well because this was not my way of work, but I did it. And then in the 2000s, I started working at Müller in Ulm.
And Muller, the drugstore.
Yes, no,
Okay.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I started working as a buyer in
Okay.
2000. And ended this in 2011 as being responsible for international purchasing and sales of toys and seasonal items.
Okay.
So that was a really interesting time because at that time we achieved market leadership in Germany for toys, my team and I. And that was really a good time. I learned a lot there.
Mm. So traveling to
Um,
China and all that
yeah,
stuff.
I traveled a lot to China back and forth. I started installing, a Hong Kong office that
Mhm.
Müller did not have, and all this stuff. So it was a very interesting time for me. But everything had to end at some times. I don't know if you're familiar with the company Müller and the structures inside,
I
but
know the
if
name,
you
I know the shops.
Yeah, let's call it's a company not easy to work in because it has let's call it an owner inside who just does not, it's very micromanagement. Let's
Okay.
call it like this.
Mhm.
And it's not easy to survive. And if you survive 12 years in this company, this surely means something. And then I left after 11 or 12 years, and I went to a company called Spiele Max. We all know it. I was
Spiel
member
Max,
of the
yes.
board.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
I was member of the board there, but this was only for 1 year. And that was okay because, honestly speaking, they were happy when I left, and I was happy when I left
Okay.
because this wasn't a match at all. This was a big mistake. But,
Can
it
happen.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm not complaining. Sometimes you take jobs. I think you
Ah,
have had this feeling in your life as well.
you never know.
You start the first day and you knew, oh, fuck, something's wrong. I think I made a mistake.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Don't worry. We
yeah,
are
but
all the same.
that is what it was. So then I left the company and I started being self-employed. And this is until now. It was in 2011 or 2012 something when I started being self-employed.
So self-employed, but you mean with the toy magazine?
No, I started as a management consultant,
Okay.
and this is what I still do. Doing consulting business and all kinds of different projects with a lot of companies in the German toy business on different projects, and even doing things, like headhunting or HR stuff and thing. This is what I still do. I started my toy magazine in 2019, and this
Uh-huh.
means that I have it now for 5 years. Toys and Games Report is now online for 5 years now.
Mhm. Okay. So yeah, very, very strong experience and long experience in the toy business from the buyer side, on the consulting side, you have the press side, you have a bit of
Yeah,
everything. So you know HR, you know all different aspects around
yeah.
this toy business, and I'm sure you know a lot of people too. And you have been in all the fairs for a long time.
Yes, for ages, and it always was fun. It is, there's a reason why I did this, because I think working in the toy business surely it is fun. Not all the time, we all know. But most of the time it's fun because you have a very interesting product itself.
Mm.
I love all this toy stuff because if you look behind me, what you see is, this toy stuff. This is my office. It's not
Yeah.
my, it's not my kids room. It's my office.
Mm.
And I love these I love toys, and this is the reason why, I love to work in this. I love to work in the toy business.
Yeah. No, no, me too, the same. I totally understand. Okay, Peter, very good. And so let's talk about France, my home country. What do you know about us? Have you been traveling to France, or because you have been
Well,
everywhere in the world?
I know about you. You have really good food. The last
Ah,
time I was in France, I was traveling to Normandy and Brittany,
Normandy. Yeah,
and
I'm
that
from
was that.
Brittany. This is my home base. I'm
Oh,
Briton.
so I don't have to tell you. It's a really nice place. I've never been to Brittany. I always wanted to be there, but it's quite a
So
long
where
travel.
have you been? In which part?
Well, almost anywhere because we did a round trip by car.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, it was really nice. It's a nice place. I really enjoyed my time
You've been
there.
doing the north from Saint-Malo and doing the coast, and
Yeah, right through the north, right around the Brittany, going down and then going back to Germany, all
okay,
along the coast, all along the coastline.
all the coastline, yeah, from all departments, which is a bit different, but each one are very, very nice.
Oh, it was very nice. We really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the views, we enjoyed the landscapes. We enjoyed the good food, of
Yeah, you
course.
went to the crêperie, like
The what?
crêperie, the
The
crepes.
crêperie? Oh, yes, I love crepes, of course.
Yeah.
You cannot see that, but actually I'm a bit, let's call it chubby, and that's that has a reason.
Okay. And you went to the Festnos to dance with the Britain music?
Oh, yes, I did massively.
That's a good one. The people from Brittany, they like to do that, around the fire and dance. It's a bit
Yes, we
strange,
do
no?
that in Germany as well. We take off our clothes and we dance around the fire at night.
Sometimes, it can be a bit, the dancing can be a bit ghosty, but sometimes
Yeah,
it's very dancey. Depends. Depends.
depends. It depends what you smoke and what you drink.
Me too, yes. Could be. Myself, I'm from the south of Brittany. I'm from the Morbihan, from the District 56. I'm born, in the town not far from the coast, but most of the time I am in Karnak. I don't know if you have been to this place where are
Yeah,
all
we
the big
visited
megaliths.
Karnak actually, yes, because I always wanted to see that. Yes.
Yeah, that's where I am, usually when I live in Lyon for professional reasons, but I'm from Brittany.
Okay.
Okay.
So you must be homesick, right?
No, I go quite often, I have seen my parents and some brothers there, and I love to go. Okay, very good. So you like France, you like Brittany, and you went to Normandy, and so you've been traveling a lot in France, or?
Oh yeah, I've been well a lot, a lot. I've been traveling to south of France as well, by motorbike, for instance, and yeah, I always like to see France. I think how to say it? I rediscovered France, I think maybe 15 years ago, because we live pretty close as neighbors, Germany and France.
Yeah.
But but in the but I always was a little more oriented to the UK. Sorry for saying this.
Mm-hmm.
I wash my mouth for this. But I rediscovered France actually maybe 15 years ago, and how beautiful it is in many ways. And it's always, I don't know why a lot of Germans don't have this, French connection. I cannot tell you.
Yeah, but a lot of
Oh, we're
Dutch, a lot of
close neighbors.
German are coming on holidays in
Yeah,
France.
yeah.
About 10 million per
No,
year.
it's not that nobody's coming, you know what I mean? But it's we speak better English than French and all this
Yes.
stuff. What I mean,
Yeah.
it's more, don't know.
Okay, Peter, we are at the end of the show. It's 3:30, so I would like to thank you for staying with me and to talk a bit about you and all those things. It was very interesting and inspiring. You are an inspiring guest for sure. And at the end, the show usually, you have to do a funny face, and I'm sure you will do a good one. You have to give
Oh,
me
funny face. Come on.
a funny face, your funny face.
Oh, come on. I look funny enough. Don't let me do funny faces. I'm German. Germans can't do funny faces. We can do, we could
You are
do
an
all other kinds of
international
faces.
guy. You're not only German. You are very, very, very international.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, thank you, Peter. We keep in touch.
Thanks very much.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks. Have a good weekend. Thank you. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Ciao.